Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with fire up. I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine, I've been on fire with Sally Field, gone fast with a girl named Bo, but somehow they just don't end up as mine. It's a death-defying life I lead. I take my chances. I die for living in the movies and TV. But the hardest thing I ever do is watch my leading ladies kiss some other guy while I'm bandaging my knee. I might fall from a tall building, I might roll a brand new car, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that made Redford such a star. I've never spent much time in school, but I've taught ladies plenty. It's true, I hire my body out for pay. Hey, hey, I've gotten burned over Cheryl Teague's, blown up for Raquel Welch, but when I wind up in the hay, it's only hay. Hey, hey, I might jump an open drawbridge or Tarzan from a vine, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that makes Eastwood look so fine.
What's up, YouTube? Today I wanted to talk to you about Yahoo. I told you in a previous video I would talk about Yahoo and some of the news articles on there, and kind of do a series every now and then. I'll mention some news articles off of Yahoo. Today I'm just going to do a kind of the general overall view of Yahoo. I'm not going to get too specific into any one particular article. I might talk a little bit about a couple of them, but for the most part, Yahoo has always been a decent search engine. However, nowadays the news articles have gotten really bad about only telling half-truths, or they're very biased, and the writers tend to always lean more towards the far left, or they're very liberal or democratic with the writing, and they're very biased. They really do not want anything to do with the right, and you won't see hardly anything to do political wise with the far right. They tend to always stay far left on all their articles. And they've gotten really bad about it, where they do what I call sprinkle a little truth. They'll state one truth or fact in the article to try to get you to believe what they're writing, and then the rest of it is complete nonsense. It's they've made it up, or it's all one-sided. They don't tell you the whole story or the other side of the story. So whoever's running Yahoo is very far left, PC, feminist, SJW, whatever. They're very political party, liberal, whatever. Yeah, they want nothing to do with the conservatives or the right whatsoever. You can go on. I've made Yahoo my homepage because I like reading, not necessarily the news articles, but I like reading the comments on the news articles. You'll find more truth in the comments than you will the articles, because a lot of time the comments are very funny sometimes, but most of them are state the truth, and usually you'll find more information from the comments than you will the article itself, because a lot of people tend to do their own research and their own digging and find out the true story of what's going on. And the writers act like they have nothing better to do than write these false news articles on certain subjects. And you'll go on there and you'll see at least daily 5 or 6 articles that are literally bashing Trump. They love to bash Trump on Yahoo, really bad. Anyone far left, far right, they like to bash, but Trump's the big one, and they like to bring up the Russia all the time when it's already been proven that there was really no ties to Russia as far as the election goes. It was a bunch of Clinton and the Democratic Party pretty much made most of that stuff up just to get people riled up, try to get people riled up. And I never understood why Clinton was running in the race anyway, because she literally helped commit murder when she helped murder them people over there across seas, and nothing was done to her about it. I mean, she never went to jail or anything. That just shows you that the Clintons have got money and power, and they can get away with a lot of stuff, including murder. So why people even want her in the office anyways, beyond me. But anyways, I'm not going to get real big on politics, but politics is a real bad problem with Yahoo. It's all far left. You'll see a lot of sports articles, and I'm not a sports fan of any kind. Back in the day, I did like some wrestling, and but I think, but that's when they had characters and they had really good storylines and stuff. And even though it is entertainment and it's all scripted, I enjoyed it. It was fun to watch back in the day. Even though it is scripted, they can really get hurt doing some of them gymnastic moves. It can be dangerous. But I think The Undertaker is the last of the characters. Maybe, I don't know. I don't even know if they have Gold Dust on there anymore. I can't remember. But those two would probably be like the last of the characters. Everybody else comes out there with, I'm Joe Blow and I'm a badass. Blah 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 blah. And I have to kind of gotta slap Stone Cold Steve Austin for doing that, because he started that crap, and now everybody thinks they need to be like him. They just come out there with their name and be a badass, and then they go fight so and so because they got beef with him. Ooh, the stories have gotten bad. So the character, there's no more characters, so no point in watching it anymore. But yeah, I never care to watch any type of sports, so I don't really read this sports articles. The celebrity articles, I get tired of seeing stuff about the Kardashians, or if people would just stop talking about them, they wouldn't be around anymore, because no one really cares except for the drama queens. Then you got, who wore ridiculous stuff, besides the Kardashians, or Kylie Jenner all the time. You got Justin Bieber up there all the time. And, I can't stand that kid. He's a punk, and he should have been put down a long time ago. But you got stuff where they're arguing about who's dressed, how someone's dressed for the Emmys. You got people who oh, this celebrity lost weight. Oh, wait, this week they've gained it again. You know, come on, who cares? Nobody cares. I wish these writers would come up with some actual news articles. That's not news. That's fandom, if you ask me. That's not news. But anyway, all that stuff is a little bit ridiculous. Like the whole Cardi B and Nicki Minaj fighting or whatever, you know. YouTubers have done that just to get popularity. It's all fake. And I'm almost betting that whole deal is fake too. I don't think they're actually fighting. But you got stuff like that. Just ridiculous stuff. I will say this. I have one thing I really have a problem with is, you know, these people who are literally hurting babies. Because Yahoo posts a lot of articles where they're hurting babies. These mothers are constantly hurting babies. Like there's this article on here today about a caregiver who running a daycare center or whatever, and she strapped the babies to their car seats and left them sitting in the car seat for hours on end, like in a dark closet or something. And then you got these mothers. What? Women today have literally lost their mind. They're nuts. Seriously. Why would you stick your kid in a car seat, roll up the windows, and then go in the store and shop for 2 hours while your kid's out in the heat suffering until they die? A lot of times they die. Seriously. What is wrong with people today? Especially women. Women have literally lost their motherly instincts. It's gone right out the window. You know, it's terrible. Terrible that they just want the kid, but they don't want the responsibility of taking care of the kid. And that's gotten really bad today. And then guys, you know, this generation of men aren't really men. A lot of them I consider manginas. They want to stay at home while the woman goes out and works. There was an article on here yesterday that I read about a guy who's engaged to a woman who literally physically abuses him every day, and he takes it. He's madly in love with her, even though she's breaking his arms and busted his nose and gave him black eyes and is kicking him all the time. You know, he loves her. And I'm like, you're an idiot. You know, men today are manginas, you know, this generation. They need to take back their balls and be a real man. If she's going to act like that, kick her to the curb, because that's not a real woman. She's no lady. Anyway, yeah, I see stuff like that on here all the time too. It's just ridiculous, you know. And there's just other stuff like that some of it's like they were complaining about. I think they complain sometimes about some of the shoes people wear, like to certain events and stuff. I mean, how is that even news? Come on. Really? Nobody cares. Like I said, these writers don't know what to do when it comes to real news. Now, one article I definitely want to mention on here is, you know, I like comics, you know, and, you know, Marvel and DC. As far as doing movies and such, you know, Marvel's been doing a little bit better than DC. But the problem is almost every movie you watch, they don't tell the actual story. They They remake the entire story, and it's not the original story. And that's the problem. That's why a lot of them don't work out so well. It's because they're not actually doing the story from the comics. They're entirely rewriting the whole thing. And to me, that's like destroying artwork. I mean, are you really going to rewrite Shakespeare or something like that? You know, to where I can understand maybe modernizing it a little bit for certain stories, but you're not going to rewrite, you know, something that's considered art. And to take an original story and rewrite it because you think you can do better than somebody else can, to bring in more money for a movie, is just ridiculous. Because it's a money game anymore. It's not actually trying to entertain people or give them an original idea anymore. Let's just rehash the same thing, post that title up there that we know everybody knows and is going to come see. So, but anyway, I saw this article about Captain Marvel and the trailer for it. I'm going to tell you right now, that movie's going to flop so bad. It is so feminist, it's not even funny. SJWPC, whatever. It's going down. The trailer looks horrible. It's terrible looking. And the original story, you know, there was a man or a soldier who was a man from a civilization called the Kree, who originally came to Earth and was Captain Marvel. His real name was Marvel. Anyway, he eventually, something happens, he gets hurt, he gives his powers to Carol Danvers, or whatever her name is. And she becomes Miss Marvel, not Captain Marvel. And she was Miss Marvel for years. You know, I think she was a part of the Avengers and the X-Men. But she didn't, the name Captain Marvel, she didn't take on that name until way, way later, after, you know, the feminists started trying to take control of Marvel Comics. They've tried like 5 times to get that comic book character liked by the public who reads Marvel Comics, and nobody likes her because she's very feminist. And that's why this movie's going to fail, because they're not doing an original story. They're changing what Captain Marvel really is, and it's not a woman. I'm sorry, it's not Captain Marvel. So yeah, that movie's going to flop bad, real bad. But anyway, I think that's all I have for you today. I'll talk some more in a different video about some other stuff. You know, because there's a few other things I'd like to talk about today, but I don't have time for it today. We'll get to some other stuff later on, especially over the whole new Bond thing and a couple other things the CW's doing about their superhero stuff for DC and whatnot. That's all I have time for today, and that's all I'm going to talk to you about today for Yahoo. I'll do another Yahoo video at some point in time soon. Anyways, that's all I got for you on Yahoo today. I told you you'd be told the truth, and you just been told.